Hey everyone, welcome back. We're diving deep today, getting up close and personal with the Eurasian brown bear.
Oh, yeah. These guys are fascinating.
They really are. And, I was thinking about it.
Hmm.
I bet most of you listening probably picture these bears roaming, big forests, right? Like that's
Classic bear habitat.
exactly. But here's the thing.
Mm.
The Eurasian brown bear, way more adaptable than that.
Oh,
We're
absolutely.
talking mountains, grasslands,
Yeah.
even the tundra.
Yeah.
Seriously, these bears are tough.
It's not just tough. I mean, think about it. They
Yeah.
thrive in these places. It's not just survival. It's like they've mastered it.
It's amazing. So get this, we're going to unpack all sorts of cool stuff today,
Looking forward to it.
like how they hibernate, what they eat. Oh, and they fish.
Oh, yeah. Gotta love the fishing bears.
I know, right? It's like a whole other side to them. But it's not just about the wow factor, right?
Yep. Oh,
Understanding this bear, it's like a window into a whole ecosystem.
couldn't agree more.
All right, so first things first,
Right.
let's talk size. These bears are seriously huge. Adult males can get up to like 800 pounds. 800 pounds? I mean, that's like I know, it's wild. Imagine running into that in the woods.
No thanks. Although they're not exactly.
Yeah, I know, they try to avoid us.
Exactly, but still 800 pounds.
Right. It's like a small car roaming around.
Crazy. And it's not just the size that's impressive.
Oh, right. Their fur.
Yeah, the color variation is incredible. You've got everything from light brown to almost black.
It's like nature's camouflage kit. Helps them blend into all sorts of environments.
Totally. But it's not just about blending in. They need to be able to, navigate these landscapes.
Oh, you mean like with those huge paws?
Exactly. Those paws are like multi-tools, digging, climbing, hunting.
Unless their sense of smell is insane.
7 times stronger than a bloodhound. That's what they say, at least.
Wow. And they have good eyesight too, right? I mean, you need that if you're hunting.
Absolutely. They need to spot prey from a distance, especially in open terrain.
Okay, so speaking of hunting,
What are these guys eating? Well, let me tell you, the menu is pretty diverse.
yeah, they're not picky eaters, are they?
Not at all. We're talking berries, nuts, roots. They'll pretty much eat whatever's available.
But here's what I find so cool.
Mm.
Their diet totally changes with the seasons.
Oh, yeah, big time.
It's like they've got this internal calendar telling them, okay, time to switch things up.
It's all about making the most of what nature provides, right? Spring and summer, it's all about fresh vegetation, leaves, grasses, all that good stuff.
But then autumn rolls around and it's like, time to bulk up.
Exactly. Got to pack on the pounds before hibernation.
Got to get all those calorie-rich nuts and fruits.
Right. You got it. But in some places, their diet takes a pretty surprising turn.
Oh, yeah. The fishing. Seriously, who knew bears could be so good at catching fish?
I know. Some of those bears are like expert anglers.
Okay, so imagine this, right? You've got these massive creatures wading into rivers, snatching salmon right out of the water.
It's a sight to behold, for sure. Although I've heard some bears are better at it than others.
Really? Like some populations have developed better techniques or something.
It seems that way. It probably depends on the region, the type of waterway, all sorts of factors.
Fascinating. So it's not just instinct, it's like there's some learning involved too.
Definitely. Makes you wonder how they pass on that knowledge, from one generation to the
That's
next.
amazing. Okay, so now for the ultimate energy-saving trick, hibernation.
Yeah, how do they pull that off? It's incredible.
I know, right? I mean, this is a creature that can weigh hundreds of pounds,
Hmm.
and they basically shut down for months.
No eating, no drinking, no bathroom breaks. It's wild.
So how do they do it? Like, what's going on inside their bodies?
It's all about slowing down, conserving energy. Their metabolic rate drops way down, their heart rate slows, and their body temperature decreases.
So they're basically running on fumes, right? Using all that fat they stored up during the warmer months.
Exactly. It's a delicate balance, though.
Oh yeah, what if a bear doesn't eat enough in the fall?
That's a real risk. If
Mhm.
they don't have enough fat reserves, they could starve during hibernation.
Or if the winter's especially harsh,
Yeah.
right? Like if it lasts longer than usual.
Exactly. It really highlights how vulnerable they are during that time.
And you know what else blows my mind?
What's that?
Pregnant females.
Uh-huh.
They give birth and nurse their cubs during hibernation.
I know, right? Talk about
See,
multitasking.
like this hidden nursery deep inside the den.
Safe and sound while the world outside is frozen.
It's just incredible.
Okay.
All right, so let's shift gears a bit.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
talk about where these bears live, their range.
Oh, yeah. They're found over a huge area.
Huge is an understatement. We're talking Western Europe all the way to Eastern Russia.
Across all sorts of different countries, environments, you name it.
But there's a problem.
There is.
Yeah, well, actually, more than one. Habitat loss is a big one.
Oh, yeah, that's a major issue for so many species.
And it's not just the loss itself, it's fragmentation too,
Right, their populations are becoming isolated.
which can lead to inbreeding, right? And that's not good for their genetic diversity.
Right. Makes them more vulnerable to diseases, environmental changes, all sorts of things.
So it's a pretty sobering situation. But there is some hope.
There is.
There are some really cool reintroduction programs happening.
Oh, yeah, where they're trying to establish new populations.
Exactly. And they're seeing some success, especially in parts of Western Europe.
That's fantastic to hear.
Plus, there's a growing push for habitat restoration, legal protections for the bears.
Absolutely. Protecting their habitat is crucial.
And, education plays a huge role too.
Oh, for sure. People need to understand these animals.
Like how to avoid conflicts, how to stay safe.
Right, because we can't talk about bears without addressing that, the potential for conflict with humans.
Yeah, it's a reality, especially where their habitats overlap with ours.
But, it's important to remember bears generally try to avoid us.
Unless they feel threatened, right? Like if they're protecting their cubs or a food source.
Exactly. That's why it's so important to be aware, take precautions, especially when we're in their territory.
Things like bear-proof containers, electric fencing, that kind of stuff.
And being aware of our surroundings, making noise when we're hiking, things like that.
So really, it's all about respecting their space.
Yeah.
Understanding their behavior.
And learning to coexist peacefully.
All right, so as we wrap up here, I think what strikes me most about the Eurasian brown bear,
What's that?
it's their resilience. They've adapted to these incredibly challenging environments.
They really have. I mean, they figured out how to thrive in places most of us wouldn't last a day in.
But now they're facing these new threats, a changing world.
And that brings up a big question.
Yeah, what's that?
How will climate change impact them? With the weird weather, the changes in food availability.
Does it affect their hibernation, how they raise their young?
Exactly. And that's something scientists are studying really closely right now.
It's something we should all be thinking about, right?
Absolutely. Because ultimately, the fate of the Eurasian brown bear, it's intertwined with our own. We have a responsibility to protect them, to ensure these amazing creatures have a future.
I think that's a perfect note to end on. So, to everyone listening, keep learning, keep exploring.
And let's work together to make sure the Eurasian brown bear continues to thrive for generations to come.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Always a pleasure.
Until next time, stay curious.